Hello. Strictly tonight. Da 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 da. I haven't got a favourite yet, but I've got some snacks. I treated myself, I must admit. My first week at work, it was a lot of hours to put in, a lot of meetings, so I treated myself. So I found these in Morrison's. Kerry's been, and she took me to Morrison's to do a little bit of shopping. Mike said, don't go mad because he's done a big online shop, it's coming tomorrow. I didn't go mad, you know. But they did have like the chicken crowns, 3 for £10, which if you see those, you just got to get them because, you know, Willow. So it's always really good value, is that. Anyway, I love olives. Yum. So I've got some olives. These, it was any 3 for £6. So I got just some little chunks of cheese. Look really nice. This little tapas crunchy mix and some olives. Yum yum yum. I prefer feta, but they didn't have it in the deal. They just had these, but that's okay. So that's my snack box. I am having some I'm having some tea. I'm having that now. It's 4:30, so I'm doing tea. I'm just having I got a quick, you know, those banquet bags. I got a quick curry, and I got which Michael have his tomorrow. He's just having a pasty, Cornish pasty. So yeah, that's what we're having, just in case you were interested. I don't know. I've got a guest. Poor thing's stuck. Oh.
It's clean. Well, it tastes nice, but couldn't cope with the oven, bent my finger. But anyway, it tastes nice. But I'm going to just have to wait for Sharon. Took a Cornish pasty out the freezer for me tea, managed to do that. And the chicken is defrosting. Okay. So Cheryl's just doing a tea look. Sprouts, it's going to be a windy night. And a £2.99 steak from Morrison's. Is it a super saver?
It's a Savers steak, but I've had them before and they're lovely. And Willow keeps looking at me because she really likes them as well. Although she's getting sleepy at the minute. Right, are we ready?
Yeah. So this is the second batch of Yorkshire puddings. Oh, they maybe could have done with a bit longer.
They could have done with a bit longer.
Put them back in then. Yeah. So, yeah, that's me, that. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. That's enough for cooking for today. I have tried one of them Yorkshires, and they don't taste like feet.
I'm having that one.
They taste really good. It's, well, it's off the internet, Gordon Ramsay. 3 eggs, bit of flour, bit of milk. Stir this, do that, put them in the oven type of thing. Easy enough, you know. Right, tea time for you.
Tea time, that's mine.
There you go. Actually looks quite good, doesn't it? Eh? Cordon bleu. Cordon bleu.
Hello. I've come down for a tea break and Mike's not here. I thought, oh, I'll come and see him. He's not here, but the kettle was on. So I'm going to do myself a cheese toastie. I don't know what time it is. It's only 9:30. I'm having a cheese toastie. I've got a thing for cheese and onion toasties at the moment. I'm not gaining weight. I got my appetite back after all that hoorah and losing. I lost £5 in a week. And and I'm not gaining it again even though I'm eating. So I don't know what that's all about, but I'm not going to complain about it. Willow's upstairs in bed. Where is he? I'm going to have to go and look for him. He's gassing to the neighbour outside. I think the neighbour knew a roofer, or the neighbour's son-in-law knew a roofer, so it might be that, might be a roofer. Anyway, we had the insurance company down to have a look. Mike said that they wouldn't pay, but we had the insurance company down because we thought, well, it's storm damage, which we would be covered for. But it's clearly, from what the insurance company guy said, it's not storm damage or classed as storm damage. It's clearly a really bad repair done by the previous owner. Won't be his fault. He was an elderly gentleman. We've seen a lot of jobs that have been done around the house that I feel like people have taken a bit of advantage of him, bless him. But the roofing job wasn't a good repair, so that's why it's we can't claim it on the insurance. The good news is, I don't know if Mike's already told you this or not, but I'm going to tell you anyway. You can always edit it out. But the good news is that he was a really good lad, a really good chap. And we told him that we'd had a quote for 3,800 plus that. And he said, absolutely no way. There's no way it's going to cost that. He said, all you need is a decent builder and it'll be in the hundreds, not the thousands. It's a simple repair job. So I'm really grateful for that. You know, I mean, even though the insurance company's not going to pay for it, at least I know it's affordable for us to do. It's not going to break the bank. I mean, good grief, £4,000 for what is really a tiny repair. So that was my news on that. The toaster just popped up. It was in the freezer, so I toasted it first, lightly, and then I put it in my cheese toastie. It's a process. Here he comes. You might want a cheese toastie. I came looking for you for a tea break. Kettle was on there. Just I couldn't find you. And then I heard you gassing outside.
Susan, down the road we were talking roofers.
Oh, right.
Anyway, yeah. Her husband's back on his feet.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Things.
Do you want a cheese toastie?
No, thank you.
Okay.
No, I'm
More for me.
I'll just have a biscuit.
Okay. Just need to change the battery in the camera. Just wanted to say thank you to, I think it's Nikki, who gave me some advice on getting some new batteries rather than worrying about having to buy a new camera. So I've put those on charge. I'm going to try those out for the first time today and see if the camera works a bit better. Right, we'll see how that goes. I'll check on my cheese toastie. Yum, 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 yum. You know that Mike did an online shop? Good grief. Mike did an online shop. This is just what the freezer looks like. And tin stuff will be alright if there's a war. I think that's what he's getting ready for. There's some tins. And when she looked there, the cupboard wasn't bare. You did well on your shop.
My dad always used to say, talking about tin stuff, light, his cupboards were always full of tins. Mind he was a lorry driver on docks, so he used to get a lot of stuff sent their way. But his cupboards were always full of tin stuff. And he used to say, and this is probably 30 years after the war, well, you never know, there might be a war. That's how they grew up on it. So it's full of tin stuff, just in case. I don't think he thought that they'd run out of food. I think he thought he could throw the tin stuff at them.
Oh dear. How was your cup of tea?
Well, no, I wanted a biscuit and I didn't get one.
Oh.
So I've got two now to make up for it. Doing myself an egg sandwich. The eggs are not really fresh, I don't think. I mean, they're edible. But you know when you crack open an egg and it's runny, you know. There's my egg. So the bread, of course we had a loaf, or we have a loaf in the freezer, so I tend to take it out, just grill it a little bit. It's nice, toast it, sorry. But I haven't thought this through. I've got to get that egg onto there. Kind of success. Do you know what I think it was? Why I didn't like the look of the egg when it went in the pan was the sunflower oil. Yeah, I think it was a bit watery because the egg was spitting as if I'd added water to the oil, but I hadn't. Anyway, there's my lunch. Cheryl's working. She's only upstairs, but I don't want to disturb her. I don't think any pepper's coming out of that. I did get some salt. Yeah, Cheryl is working, of course. Ooh, black pepper. That's better. And it is only 11:30. So she won't be expecting me to be hungry, you know, ready for my dinner, lunch. I've done well there. She will be pleased. Look at that. Lovely. Chucky egg sandwich. Right, here we go. Right. The long awaited, let's get this basin panelled in. Fair bit of stuff to move first. But I'm going to have a go at it. Today is Thursday. Let's see if I can get it done by Friday. Okay. So I've got that side boxed out. It's got to fasten everything. A few screws. And then move on to this side. Okay. So I got that board cut and that board cut. Now, here's the difficult bit. I've got to make this look good. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what I do. A bit difficult filming in here, but as you can maybe see at the back of the sink, the plumber, George, did a really good job of sealing, putting a sealant in there. I'm going to have to cut that because I've got to put a backboard on there. And if I don't cut that seal, which will be behind the backboard, then if ever we want to take this sink out, that's going to be difficult. you know. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut the backboard for that. Right, so I've got the sides done, and I have got a sheet of melamine, coated MDF, but I want that sheet of plasterboard to go in there, but I can't because the tap's in the way and the top shelf. So here's what I'm going to do. So what I did was cut the plasterboard halfway through. I'll see if I can show you this. It's very difficult in this tight space. There you go. Needs tapping back, but I'm going to put some instant wood grip. No more nails, that sort of thing behind it. First though, I've got to see if I've got enough of a gap at the back of the tap to put a tile in, because I'm going to tile this. I know. Now I can't get a tile behind it, as you've seen, but gosh, it's a little bit tight. And the tap is one of those that you tilt back. See if I can show you. So the tap works just a bit tight. I'll have a think, have a thunk, Michael. Okay. So you can see where I've spotted that board, ready to glue it and put it in place. And I was just showing Cheryl, and she said, well, you won't clean behind the tap. So I took the board off. But then we both looked at it and said, what a load of beep beep. I mean, I did say I would struggle doing this, and I've only bits of offcut. So the next time you see this, which will be in about a second, 2 seconds, maybe 5, it'll look a whole lot different. Are you ready? Sometimes you've got to admit defeat. Got all the screws out. This lot is about to go in the bin. Yeah, okay. All cleaned, stripped out. Yes, okay. Well, you might think, Mike, gosh, that must have hurt. Spent a morning, got your tools out, cut timbers up, you know, fitted them together, but no, it's okay really. The only thing I'm bothered about is this big lump of timber here, this one, because that was a good length to make a workbench. So these offcuts here and anything else I can get hold of in here, I'm going to make a bench over here, yeah, along there, which I wanted to do. So it's okay, I'm not bothered. You know, sometimes, still in my garage, I mean, me and Cheryl spoke about that job, and I said to her, really not sure how to do this, you know. It's a difficult space, that. You've said, well, put a board on each side, but I did 3 things. Firstly, I don't have the materials. I didn't buy anything in. I used offcuts. That's never a good start. Secondly, I could have done with a table saw to cut things down. I don't have one of those. Even if I did, I wouldn't use it, you know, because of my tremor. And thirdly, I didn't have the skills to do it. Some jobs I can do, some jobs I can't. That one. I had a good go at it, but it looked rubbish. Even when I said to her, I said, "Shall come and have a look at this?" In my head, I thought, if she says, "Oh yeah, that's fine, you can tile it." But she said, if I would have left it, tiled it, you wouldn't have been able to get behind the tap to clean it. And the tap didn't work very well. It was too tight with the towel on. So yeah, I agreed with Cheryl. Cheryl agreed with me. And I've dismantled it. What will happen is that when we can afford it, we'll get a joiner, proper skilled joiner. The lad who did our doors, he was really good. And just say, "Can you fix that?" And he'll say, "Yeah." And it'll cost you this much. However much that is, you know. Right. I'm not put off because I'm getting back of the swing of things. That was the thing. Hey, Willow. Hello. And Willow come out to see us. So yeah, I'm getting back into the swing of things and I want to keep it going now. You know, here's Willow. Hello. What you doing? You come for a nosy? Oh. Oh, you come for a play? Where's your bottle? Mummy got it. Yeah, they do that with pits. Well, I suppose all dogs do, don't they? But crackers. Absolutely crackers, you are. Where's your bottle? Come on, let's go in.
Hello, little catch up with me. So as you'll have seen, poor Mike, he spent all morning doing that to the toilet and then he ripped it all out. But I just decided, you know, just once we've got a little bit of money in the bank, we'll get a joiner in to do it. It's got to be right, you know. And if Mike does it and he's not happy with it, he'll just keep looking at it every time he goes in and thinks, "I really don't like it," and it'll get him down. Those kind of things, they really annoy him. So I'm approaching the end of my second week in my job and it's gone really well. So I'm about to finish what they call the onboarding. So I've been inducting new learners. I've got a caseload of learners now. They've started submitting work and I'm either passing it or I'm not. So far, everybody's really nice and I've actually seen some familiar names. So some of my learners that were with the old company that shut have actually come across to me in the new centre, in my new job. So I'm looking forward to talking to them next week and catching up and getting them started on their qualifications again. So that made me smile, seeing those familiar names and knowing that they're going to be okay now, that they're going to be able to finish their qualification and wave the certificate in the air. I've still a lot to sort with old students. There's still a lot that needs sorting. But, you know, hopefully we'll get there. Okay, so that's really it from me. Willow is looking really bored. She's had a little bit of a mad half hour, but she's eaten. Are you a bit bored? Are you with Henry? You don't like Henry, do you? Eh? No. I've not had a lot of time for her. I've been so busy with work and, you know, I'm doing quite a lot of hours. So I'm squeezing in my dinner time, a walk with her, and it's not as long as it used to be. And in the mornings, I used to be quite relaxed about when I sat down. I used to sit at my desk at 10 o'clock. Now I have to be at my desk at 8:30. So the morning walk, normally I would have met with my friends. She'd have had a walk first, we'd met with friends, she'd have played with other dogs, socialised a bit, played with her ball, and I'm not getting a chance to do that. They all are out at a later time. The poll, thank you for those that have been polling for the name of the brand. So far, I mean, it was very close between Mabel, Made by Mabel, and Willow, but the Willow is looking like it's winning. So I think I'm going to move forward with the Willow, but come up with some different ideas, such as Willow's crafts, or Willow in stitches. And I do like the Why Not Willow as well, because I was thinking of how I could play with that for a particular logo. Got some ideas on that Why Not Willow, and I think it sounds nice as well. The Willow crafts I thought of because she's named after the witch in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I used to love that programme, and there was a witch in it called Willow, so we called her Willow for that reason. So the craft sort of has a link to the witch, but also has a link to the sewing, because it's crafts. So that was the reason for that one. And Willow in stitches I thought was quite funny, as in Willow laughing, because she does laugh, you know. It comes out of sort of like a but she does laugh. So Willow in stitches, Willow crafts, or Why Not Willow, and I'll think of something else, and then I'll put a new poll up and you can choose between those. So that's where we're going with it so far. Anyway, thank you again so much for watching, for being with us, for supporting us. I hope this video isn't too long. Can't seem to cut them back. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.